Sophia?
I just want to point out that chat is only for questions and answers.
Yeah, thanks. All right. The recording has finally started. Woot woot. All right. So before we get started on the new information I want to learn today, I want to review what we talked about yesterday. So I need someone right now to tell me one piece of information about informational videos. Tell me one thing that makes an informational video an informational video. Presley, tell me one thing that makes an informational video an informational video.
They have first-hand account people.
Yeah, sometimes informational videos have first-hand accounts that featured to help viewers better understand the events. Landon, I did not call on you, sir. Michaela, your hand is up. Tell me something else that makes an informational video an informational video.
Second-hand accounts.
So the second-hand accounts would be the narrator is what you're thinking of. So narrators often explain what is happening on the screen. And in our video that we're viewing this week, we have first-hand accounts and we have a narrator or the voiceover. So we have first-hand accounts and we have second-hand accounts. What else makes an informational video an informational video? Angelina, can you tell me one thing? I see your hand up.
Information, like a first count and a second count information.
All right, that's kind of what they just said. Yes, we have first-hand account and we have second-hand account things. Brooklyn, how about you? Can you tell me something, Brooklyn?
It has. Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. It has experts.
Yes, oftentimes informational videos have experts. And if you're like, oh my gosh, Ms. Knife, I can't remember what an expert is. An expert is someone who is expert who is like the really good at their topic. So remember in the Alaskan earthquake video, there was the geologist talking and she was talking about the Earth's plates. She is an expert about rocks, which is why she can talk about the Earth's plates, because we talked about how plates are just giant slabs of like rock and stuff. So there is an expert in our story from this week. What can someone tell me the main definition as a whole of what an informational video is? What does that even mean? What is an informational video? If you're on HMH, you're probably reading this definition right now. Jacqueline, I saw your hand up.
To give information about a topic.
Yeah, it's to give information about a topic, a person, or an event. So what would we call the Great Alaska, or the between the glacier and the sea, the Great Alaska earthquake? Is that a topic? Is that a person? Or is that an event? What is this video over? Type it in my chat. Is it about a topic? Is it about a person? Is it about an event? Tell me what you think. We haven't really talked about this, so give me your best guess. Is this a topic? Is this a person? Is this an event? All right, I'm seeing correct answers. Yes, this is an event. The Great Alaska earthquake was a real thing that happened. So it's not about earthquakes in general. If it was about earthquakes in general, then it would be a topic. Obviously, it's not about a person because there's people in the video, but it's not strictly about one person. So it is an event. This is a specific thing that happened. And remember, in an audio, there's visual. In a video, there's audio and visual. Remember, audio means we can hear it. Odd means hear, and visual, viz, means see. So the video, there's things that we can see, and there's also things that we can hear. So, go us. And last one, even though we kind of already reviewed this one time, let's just review it one more time. What is the difference between a first-hand and a second-hand account? Paisley, your hand went up first. Tell me what the difference is. By the way, this was your homework, so if you didn't do this homework, you better get it done. There's like 5 of you that didn't do it. Tell me, Paisley, and yourself.
A first-hand account is the people that was there and experienced it. And the second-hand account is the narrator who hasn't been there but knows about it.
Right, that's a good way of putting it. The people that experienced it is the first-hand accounts. They were physically there. The people who either heard about it or read about it and are now telling you about it, that is second-hand account. So thank you guys for those of you that did that homework. So that was just a quick little review. Oh, wait, last review. Informational video. Is that fiction or nonfiction? If we're getting informational video, type it in my chat. Fiction or nonfiction? Let's review. All right, I'm seeing correct answers. It is nonfiction. This was a real life thing, real life happening, which makes it a nonfiction story. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to share the screen, and we're going to watch the video all again, because obviously we probably don't remember the whole thing. And then I have another thing for us to do. So I'm going to share my screen in 1 minute, and we are going to watch the entire video again, start to finish. That way you can refresh your brain, because I'm sure we don't remember everything from yesterday. I know I don't. Landon, why are you saying no? To do what we're doing today, you need to remember the video. And I'm just going to let you know, you probably don't remember the video that well. So we are going to watch the video again. If it ever loads, it'll load in a minute. All right, so the chat should be quiet. You should be paying attention and listening to our lovely video.
Underneath Alaska.
Wait, we need to start from the beginning. Remember, right here it says March 27th, 1964, a magnitude 9.2 earthquake, the most powerful earthquake recorded in North American history, struck Alaska. So this was our little foreword, right? It told us what the whole video was going to be about.
This event. I have to go to my doctor's appointment.
Okay, make sure you watch the video, the recording then, okay?
Okay.
All right, bye, bud. All right, so fun fact, Mrs. Kneifel's birthday is March 27th. Not that that's important. I just thought I'd tell you guys. All right, video starting now.
There was a loud boom, like a bomb or something went off, and I was standing just right off the end of the planks on the dock.
And there was a noise. It was kind of a rumble.
Like a deep thunder, only it sounded like it was coming from under the earth.
The earthquake and resulting tsunamis happened because our planet is restless. The Earth's surface is made up of massive continental and oceanic plates that are continually moving and colliding with each other. In regions where they collide, one plate can dive or subduct under another, causing tremendous pressure to build up.
Prior to the 1964 earthquake, the Pacific plate had been subducting underneath Alaska, and Valdez was sitting on top of that subducting plate. It was basically stuck. And then on that day, all that strain was released, and then we had the Great Alaska Earthquake.
Valdez and much of Alaska were subjected to 5 minutes of violent shaking, with aftershocks persisting for days. The March 27th, 9.2 magnitude earthquake was the largest ever recorded in North American history.
Am I the only one that can't hear it?
The Earth's violent shaking caused 98 million cubic yards of these unstable sediments to literally break off, generating local tsunami waves up to 30 feet high. The slide devastated the docks. Most of Valdez itself was spared heavy wave damage. However, 5 brutal minutes of shaking left a profound mark on the community.
During the earthquake, an oil stove, fell over and caught fire to the building, and that spread to the tank farm, and it fed upon itself. One tank would catch fire and start burning, and then that would go to another tank, and it went from one to another.
The whole town settled during the earthquake. The ground dropped almost 9 feet near the waterfront and shifted sideways as much as 30 feet in town. All but maintenance personnel and a few others evacuated the town of Valdez.
There were some people that left and never came back.
In the years following the disaster, Valdez was rebuilt on more solid ground about 3 miles away. So, if you couldn't hear or see, I'm not sure why. Hopefully you kind of remember our video from yesterday. Could be your internet. Could just be that it wasn't through all the way. Because
I got it.
Lots of people could hear and see. So if you're just confused, just follow along with us. So, can someone tell me what visual elements were in this lovely video? What type of visuals were there? I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a minute and just so I can see more of you. What type of visual elements were there in this video? There was quite a few things. Paisley, I see your hand is up. What was one visual element that was in this video?
Like when it showed like all the smoke and fire.
Okay, so when that so they have video footage from a long time ago. So actual footage. Yes, that is one visual. Presley, what was another visual?
When it showed the people that were there, the first-hand account people.
Yeah, so then that was like videos from today. So they have footage from people today recalling the act. And, you know, I should write these down. That way Mrs. Kneifel doesn't forget. So we had footage from day of, or, you know, close to the day of. Footage, when I say footage, I mean video footage of people that were there today. What was another visual element? Dylan, Kelly, is your hand up? What was another visual element? Dylan, are you frozen? All right, I think Dylan might be frozen. So, Mia, what was another visual element?
Another visual element was when it showed like kind of like the platform of their town and like there was a bunch of water on it.
Yeah, so I don't know if you're talking about the exact same thing I'm thinking about. When they were talking about the docks, like falling and breaking and stuff, obviously they didn't have like a real video of that. So it was like I'm going to say a cartoon reenactment is what they had. Someone went on a computer and designed what happened to show us. Even though it wasn't real life footage, it gave us, it was like a reenactment of what had happened, right?
Are you talking about
they were explaining what happened?
Are you talking about when like you kind of saw the road and like the like kind of like house things and then there was water kind of coming up?
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about at the docks when they were talking about the boats and how the docks were destroyed. That is when they had like a cartoon, not really a cartoon, but an animated reenactment. When they had like the roads and stuff, that would just be video footage of the aftermath. So that would be another one.
I think I was talking about what you were talking about.
Yeah, so footage of the aftermath. Oh, that's one word. All right. What else, Mr. Mark?
When they did that, you know, when they were talking about how the Pacific Plate slid under the Alaska, how they showed that map of like the Pacific Plate moving, that.
Yeah, so that would be another, instead of, I shouldn't have said cartoon reenactment, I should have said animated reenactment.
Yes,
this would be an animated explanation because they were just explaining to us how the plates move, and that was animated for us because they can't really show us that in real time, so that was animated for us to see. Also, they just had photographs that they showed us, right? Some were just still pictures that were from that day, and then they put them on the screen. So some of the visual elements, things we physically saw with our eyes, footage from the day of. We saw footage of people that were there in real time today. We saw an animated reenactment of the docks. We saw footage of the aftermath, like people showing the town later. We saw just photos that were shown on the screen. And we also saw animated explanations of when they were talking about the tectonic plates and stuff. Mark, your hand seems to be flapping. What else?
When the expert came back on, when the expert came on.
Yeah, and we saw
that.
Yeah, so look at that. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is 7 different visual elements that we were able to see with our eyes, which is so fantastic. Okay. So we were able to see all these different things. It wasn't just a straight people video like, you know, in a movie. We had the animated things. We had the photo things. We had the footage from a long time ago. Like someone else had a camera when they were there and showed us what happened, right? Cool. So all those different elements, visual elements were part of it. But now let's talk about the audio elements, the things we heard. This one's a little bit more tricky. What are some things that we heard? I'm going to start us out with narrator. We heard the narrator. Obviously, that was a voiceover. We heard him. What was another thing we heard, Jacqueline?
Those people talking in the beginning.
We heard firsthand accounts. Yes, we heard those. What is another thing we heard with our ears? What else did we hear, Mia?
We heard the sounds of the videos, like the booms and the people like yelling.
Yes, in the very beginning, it kind of started. You could hear like some rumbles and stuff. So let's say that's like sound effects. So the video maker put that, Jaden, please use the chat the correct way. The video maker put those sound effects in to make it seem more realistic for us. So there was some sound effects in there. It wasn't only people talking. Besides sound effects, there was another thing that was kind of throughout the whole thing that I wouldn't call sound effects, like booms and things like that, but it was another type of sound. Did anyone hear what it was basically throughout the whole thing? Dylan?
Are you talking about the experts talking?
Well, there was experts talking, but that's not what I was talking about.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay, because we can add her. We had narrator, first-hand accounts, experts, sound effects, but there was something else that was throughout almost the entire thing in the background. Does anyone know what the background noise was? Someone I haven't talked to. Gage, what was the background noise? What were you hearing in the background? We hear it in the background of lots of videos. Do you know, Gage? If not, that's okay. I just put you on the spot because I can see your face.
It looks like he tried to type music. Yeah, that's right.
Jaden typed it. But that's okay. Yeah, there was a lot of music. And in all videos, in all movies, there's normally music. And the music, just like how when we go to the symphony every year, except for this year, obviously, music is kind of tells you how to feel. You know, it was kind of like sad and slow music. Like you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe all this devastation. And when there's really, really fast music, like in Jaws, you know, there's suspense coming. So music can help tell us how we should be feeling. So in this video, there was the narrator. There were first-hand accounts. There were sound effects. In the very beginning, there was the clock, tick-tock, tick-tock. That would be a sound effect saying like, oh, snap, it's going to happen, it's going to happen, it's going to happen. There was also some booms and some background noise. There was the experts talking and there was music throughout the whole thing. So that is 5 different audio elements that we heard in this story or in this video. So there was at least 7 different visual things and at least 5 different audio things that made this video an informational video. Does anyone have any questions with where we're at currently? All right, then we are going to do some cause and effect together. Let me get out a blank Google Doc, and we're going to just type in some cause and effects. Someone, I need you to explain what the heck is cause and effect. Mrs. Kneifel just has forgotten. I got some amnesia. What is cause and effect, Presley?
Cause and effect is when something happens that results into another thing.
Yes, perfect. That's a good way to put it. All right, so here's my blank. Well, if it ever comes up. My screen will be sharing in 1 minute. I'm going to make a table. It's going to be a cause and effect table. And I just want people to share a cause and effect that they heard in the story. So I will start us off with one. I'm trying to think of a good one.
Mr. Kneifel, I have you. I know a good one. Dang it, how dare you steal mine?
Miss Kneifel, that is what I.
Okay, so I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so hopefully you guys can see it. So here's my cause, and someone else is going to tell me the effect, okay? So if you know it, you can say it. In 1 second, don't say it yet. But here's my cause. Earth's tectonic plates are constantly moving. The Pacific plate was submerging under the other one. I can't remember what the other one's called right now. So what was the effect of that? What was the effect of that?
A giant earthquake.
Giant
Earthquake.
Oh, I spelled giant.
They just said it was. They never said it was a plate. They just called it Alaska. That's what they just called the other plate, or so-called plate.
Alaskan plate. Earthquake.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm under the other one's fine. So giant earthquake 9.2. I'm gonna even say the word magnitude. All right. I spelled that wrong. That's okay. All right. So we officially have one cause and effect. Does anyone have another cause? And then we can try to figure out the effect. What was another thing that happened in this video? Mark, what is a cause? What's another thing that happened in this video?
They weren't prepared for the earthquake. Can I say the effect? They weren't prepared for the earthquake. So that the town got destroyed.
Okay, so people were not prepared for the earthquake. Well, not people. How about the town?
The citizens of the town
Wasn't built to withstand an earthquake. How about that? That sounds better. The town wasn't built to withstand an earthquake. They didn't know there was going to be a giant earthquake there, okay? So the town wasn't built to have a giant earthquake. What is the effect of that? The town was destroyed. All right, awesome. Does someone have, I should actually be numbering these instead of, sorry, don't mind Mrs. Kneifel. All right, what is a third one that happened in here? A third one. Presley.
There was a fire and it kept, the fire spread throughout the gas tanks.
A gas stove fell over.
I was writing an opera.
And the effect of the gas stove falling over, the gas stove caught fire to
oil stove.
So oil tanks, which kept the fire going and going. Did everyone catch that in the video? The guy, it was the old man. He would be first in the count, that old man. Hey, make sure you're muted, Olive. The older guy in the video, first-hand account, he said, yeah, there was a gas stove or an oil stove, a gas stove, whatever stove. I might have said that wrong. The stove fell over, and that stove falling over caught fire. And guess what? That fire led to an oil tank or a gas tank. And then there was another fire. Then it was another. Then it was another. So this earthquake also caused giant fires. That would be cause and effect. What is a nut? Olive, can you please make sure you're muted, ma'am? What is another cause and effect? And it could be like the earthquake happened and this happened because the earthquake. It doesn't have to be just like the same cause can cause a lot of effects, okay? So we could have like a lot of effects from one cause, okay? Paisley, your hands up.
Because of the earthquake, people had to evacuate.
All right. A large 9.2 earthquake. People had to evacuate. Okay, now piggybacking off of that one, people evacuated. What was something the woman said at the very end? We didn't see her face, but it was a first-hand account. People evacuated. And what was the cause of some people evacuating? Some people what? Does anyone know what I'm looking for? I don't see a lot of you. So if you know it, put it in the chat. Some people what? People evacuated and some people what? Tell me in the chat.
My chat's not working right now for some reason.
Oh, well, Jacqueline put it in there. Never came back. Yes, some people
Yeah.
never came back. Like they rolled out, never came back. All right. Let me think of another good one and I'll have you guys fill in the effects.
I got one, Miss.
Okay, Dylan, go. What's one?
Well, one is there was an earthquake.
Okay.
And the effect was that it was the largest in North America.
Yeah. We'll put largest.
I wonder what a 9.2 earthquake is.
Yeah, I know. I'll fix it. Ever in North America. Yeah, that would be a cause and effect. 9.2 earthquake, largest ever in North America. How about
I have one.
9.2 earthquake. What happened to the ground of Valdez itself? Can someone remember what happened itself? The 9.2 earthquake.
It sank 9 feet down. Sank 9 feet down. I remember that.
Sunk the land. I don't know.
And like 30 feet to like the right or left.
About the land of Valdez dropped 9 feet down and shifted 30 feet to the side. I don't remember what side. It doesn't really matter in this case. So, all right. That is already 7 cause and effects. Do we have an 8th? Does anyone have another cause and effect that they can think of?
Yes.
Okay, Mark, go.
There's that 9.2 earthquake again for like the 5th time. And the effect of it is that there are tsunamis. Well, I guess were there tsunamis? There are tsunamis and the town flooded.
Destroyed.
The people that never came back were like, peace out.
Yeah. All right, so 9.2 earthquake. Because that earthquake, we know that earthquakes can cause tsunamis. And the tsunamis in the town destroyed the docks. Remember in Alaska, they're surrounded by a lot of ocean. So there's a lot of fisheries up there and like people that go like that get like Alaskan crab and stuff. So the docks are like a lot of the docks are where a lot of people work. So yeah, that's another one. Jaden, your hand is up. Do you know another one? Do you know a number 9?
Since the town was destroyed, so the town was destroyed for the cause, and the effect was they had to build a new town 3 miles away.
Right, rebuilt town. I spelled that wrong.
How dare you, Jaden? I was going to say that next.
Mrs. Knifel's having trouble spelling. Town 3 miles away on deer ground. Yeah, so that was another one. The town was just Saturday ground. I didn't want Saturday. Sturdy. I don't know if sturdy is a word. So the town was destroyed. What was an effect of that? They rebuilt the town 3 miles away on sturdier ground. Awesome. Let's just read through what we have right now. Yeah, Lillian, the town was moved. Good. Let's just read through what we got. And while I'm reading through these, think if you can think of any more. So the first cause and effect. Earth's tectonic plates are constantly moving. The Pacific plate was submerging under the other. That caused, or the effect of that, was a giant 9.2 magnitude earthquake. The town wasn't built to withstand earthquakes. What was the effect of that? The town was destroyed. A gas stove fell over. What was the effect of that? The gas stove caught fire to oil tanks, which kept the fire continuing and continuing and continuing. Another one, a large 9.2 earthquake. What was the effect of that? People had to evacuate and that was supposed to be and leave their homes. I don't know why I wrote there. And leave their homes. Number 5, people evacuated. What was the effect? Some people never came back. Number 6, 9.2 earthquake. The effect, largest in North America. Number 7, 9.2 earthquake. What was the effect of that? The land of Valdez dropped 9 feet down and shifted 30 feet to the side. I don't remember what side. Not important. Number 8, 9.2 earthquake. Tsunamis happened, because of the earthquake, tsunamis happened that destroyed the docks. Number 9, the town was destroyed. What was the effect of that? It was rebuilt 3 miles away on sturdier ground. That's a lot of cause and effects from a 3-minute video. Does anyone have any other ones on their mind currently? Mark?
I'm surprised no one done this because this is the most obvious one. 9.2 earthquake happened.
Okay.
So they made a documentary on it. A little informational video.
Yeah.
Like, come on. How did... Gotta think.
So 9.2 earthquake. People study the Great that's spelled wrong. Alaskan earthquake. All right, so it gives people something to study now, right? Because, you know, it was such a huge thing, and like the documentary would be part of that. This little bit informational video we watched. So there's 9.2 earthquake. People study the Great Alaskan earthquake.
Mrs. Knife, I have one.
Was made. All right, Mia, tell me.
Okay, so 9.2 earthquake, and the effect was that it caused really loud noises and people got scared.
Yeah, that would be one. Remember that in the very beginning, our first-hand account, people said it sounded like a bomb or, you know, a rumbling under the earth caused loud noises and people will be scared. Obviously, people would be scared in a, you know, situation like this. All right, do we have another one? Mark.
Well, since the 9.2 earthquake happened, I mean, like, I don't think there's been a single earthquake that's over like a 7 that a person hasn't died. So sadly, probably people have died from it.
Earthquake. I'm sure
sucks.
So 9.2 earthquake. We could say people were injured and / or lost their lives. I'm sure people passed away. That just wasn't really highlighted in the video, which is totally fine because it was a video for kids. So look at all of these cause and effects that we have. And this we did, you know, in 20 minutes, all these cause and effects. So far, let's just do a mini recap of what we've learned so far this week. So we talked about informational videos, correct? We learned exactly what entails in informational videos. The experts, the first-hand accounts, the second-hand accounts, the visual aspects, the audio aspects. We talked about the difference between a first and second-hand account. We know that a first-hand account is someone that physically experienced it. They were there. A second-hand account is someone who's telling us about it because they heard about it or they read about it. We talked about these 7 different visual visual elements that were within the video because there was actual photos. There was actual footage. There was footage of the aftermath. There was footage of the first-hand account people. There was actual photographs. Everything else you listed that Mrs. Knifel can't think of right now. We talked about the audio, how the music tells you how to feel. Remember the background music. There was also background noises like the booms and the clock ticking. And then obviously the voiceover of the narrator and the voiceovers and the voices of the experts and the first-hand accounts. And then we talked about all of these causes and effects, which is crazy that in 3 minutes, there's all these causes and effects. It's crazy to think that this one earthquake caused so many different things to happen. It caused fire. It caused destruction. It caused death. It caused tsunamis. That is a humongous list of things that happened because of this because of this earthquake. So I would like to know, I'm going to give you guys a nice opinion question for homework tonight. Okay, so let me share my screen and I'm going to give you an opinion question for your homework tonight because we are just about out of time. We only have 5 minutes left. So if you were living in Valdez during the 1964 earthquake? Comma, would you have rebuilt and stayed, or would you have left and never came back? Question mark, why? So that is your homework tonight. You're going to tell me, if you were living during this earthquake and this earthquake happened, would you have stayed and rebuilt, or would you have left and never came back? And you're going to tell me why you think that, okay? So I'm going to finish writing these instructions about using a complete sentence, and then I will post this. This will be due by tomorrow's class, obviously before tomorrow's class. So this is an opinion question. As long as you write in complete sentences and tell me why you feel this way, you really can't get it wrong because it's your opinion. Would you stay or would you go? Okay? If anyone has any questions, now is the time to ask. If anyone has any questions, now is the time to ask. Mia.
Bye. Do you have to explain which one you would choose?
Yeah.
Like why? Why
well, if you're choosing
you would choose
have
it?
left and never came
Okay.
back, you would say, I would have left and never came back because, and then you're going to tell me why, okay? So you have to answer that why.
Okay. Thank you for giving us easy
Well,
questions.
I just want to know what you guys would do.
I know. I love when you give us simple questions, though.
Use capital letters and punctuation.
I got another thing for the Alaskan earthquake that affects us.
What?
Where students in a school is the cause. Effect, we learn about the Alaskan earthquake.
What we learn about this Alaska earthquake. I'll add that to the thing. All right, guys, so this is your homework. If you were living in Valdez during the 1964 earthquake, would you have rebuilt and stayed, or would you have left and never came back? Why? Please answer this question in complete sentences. Use capital letters and punctuation. Do your personal best. This is due tomorrow before class starts, okay? It is officially posted. You guys are free to work on this. You obviously have math in 13 minutes. Do your personal best. If you have any questions, now is the time to ask. Logan, not Logan, Dylan, I will add your cause and effect to the thing.
Miss Kneifel.
Yes, ma'am.
Is Cadence asleep?
I don't know.
Oh, it looked like she was asleep.
All right,
My back
guys.
hurts.
You guys are free to leave unless you have a question. Thank you for joining me today, guys. Good job. You have math in 12 minutes. Your homework is posted. If you want to get it done before.
Bye. Have a good day.
Bye. I want to know your guys' opinion. You guys all have to leave, please. Your question must be done before tomorrow.